All right, fellas, we're going to talk about a little bit of food tonight. If I can get the dogs to shut up. Well, that's what you get when you have a doghouse, right? A doghouse. Well, anyway, all the neighbors have dogs, and we have 10 dogs here because it's a dog rescue. But let's talk about this topic real quick. First of all, let's talk about appetite suppression. Okay, if you're just doing a post-show rebound, that means after a show, you get skinny as hell, you're half retarded, you sound like you're wasted when you're talking. When you lose a lot of weight and you're not using any carbs, you just sound stupid. You sound wasted when you're talking. So I remember I was talking to Mr. Hawaii, and he was so depleted. He was just like, I'm right in front of him. He's just like dead. He had the death face and everything. And I was shredded as well, but I wasn't as depleted as him. But he was also the winner. Anyway, he's looking around. I'm like right here, dude. His face is so his brain's like. That's why a lot of people say, bodybuilders sound dumb. A lot of times they're not on any carbs whatsoever. When you don't eat carbs, you really do sound stupid because your brain needs carbs to survive. So let me show you a couple things that you can use when you're eating these boring ass foods that are just like, same old thing, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. You use sea salt, guys. Do not do this whole no sodium thing. You must use sodium in order to balance your water and your potassium. So I'm going to show you a couple things that really help me out, but you got to be careful. See, mustard has literally no calories. It does not have any calories. It's fat-free virtually. But this brand here, which you guys are probably familiar with, as opposed to this brand here, which is like a deli mustard, are night and day when it comes to, well, this is spicier. As you know, in Germany, we don't have hot sauce like they do here in Mexico for tacos. This is our hot sauce. Spicy mustard. Now, you don't have to get burning ass hot mustard if you don't want to. If you like feeling pain when you eat, you can get super hot, Chinese mustard or wasabi or whatever. This is just regular French's mustard. But you want to be careful when you read the backs of these mustard labels. You'll see some of them have sugar. I was surprised too. This right here, per tablespoon, has 2.9 grams of sugar. This has none. So you see what I'm saying, guys? If you're trying to do well for yourself, you're going to realize, I think I'm eating healthy. And the professor told me to put mustard on my food. So I got this. And you look on the back, you're like, damn, 3 grams of sugar. If you think about this, that's like a sugar packet of sugar. But this right here is fat-free. It has no calories. So when you're really bored out of your mind of this food and that food, and you're thinking, I'm going to put some hot sauce on it, you're good. Hot sauce is great as long as it doesn't have sugar in it. A lot of prepackaged foods that are in the grocery store have sugar in them, and you wouldn't even know it. Why would you put sugar in mustard? Why would you put sugar in hot sauce? That makes no sense at all. Even things like garlic sauce. Garlic is great for you. The fats in the garlic sauce might help you a lot. But you look on the back and it says sugar. And sometimes it's hidden in there as sugar alcohol. So you might be thinking, I'm getting no sugar. And you are actually getting sugar. Another thing too, and even though I'm saying you need to have salt and sodium in your diet, doesn't mean go friggin' crazy. Just means that you need to eat 5 to 10 grams, which is like a tablespoon of sea salt throughout the day. Meaning, if you prep your food, which I recommend doing this, ground beef and rice if you want to get big, tilapia and asparagus if you want to get shredded. But those both get very boring after a while, and mustard will do the job helping you to get lean. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys is that, as you can see, my face is filling out. My once ribs that were showing are no longer showing because I'm rehydrated again. which is a good thing because you can't stay, sub 10%, 5%, 4%. I'm not that I got that low the whole year because your brain will stop functioning and you probably have onset dementia. Another thing too that you may or may not know, and I'm drinking my double espresso. You could put butter in your coffee. Now it sounds gross, but you could put MTC oil in it, just a tablespoon. Do this in the morning. Butter and just skip the creamers, skip all the sugar, obviously, even skip the artificial sweeteners unless it's monk fruit. Monk fruit is not the same as stevia. Stevia, once again, you look on the little packets there, and it has all these other ingredients. You're like, what the hell is this? You don't need that. You can buy monk fruit in drops. You can buy monk fruit in pouches, and maybe just take a handful of pouches, put them in a sandwich bag, throw them in your car. So every time you're thinking, I'm going to stop and get coffee or whatever, you always got monk fruit. Now, if you guys want to look on Google, you'll see that monk fruit is actually really beneficial for anti-aging. Uh-oh, here comes the dogs again. You guys know I have a dog rescue, so I have 10 dogs, and it's raining outside, so they're inside. Oh, here we go. And you know what? You really should see these dogs. If you haven't seen, stop it now. Be quiet. If you haven't seen these dogs are freaking huge. This is crazy. I gotta stop. So anyway, if you want to get shredded and you look into something that's going to suppress your appetite, if you can't get rid of Tide, that's going to kill your appetite. Literally fix all of your problems with insulin resistance, and you may be pre-diabetic. This will fix you, period. But I got coffee here. I got some Cuban espresso, and all I did was get a bag of ground espresso, because I'm not grinding nothing. I just got some of this and monk fruit, right? Now put some butter in that shit in the morning, and I'm telling you stuff, it's like rocket fuel. It'll kill your appetite, and you'll feel excessively energetic throughout the day. You'll be clear-headed and stuff like that. It really helps a lot, especially when you're dieting, because you're going to be dragging ass, guys. Especially if you've dropped your calories by 500 calories a day, and you're right around 2,000 calories, and you're used to eating like 3,500. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel really, really stupid, and you're going to feel real sluggish. So in order to combat that fatigue, I got a couple things that I use that help a lot with the fatigue. Now, this is from the pharmacy in Mexico, but it is just a supplement. And you guys can look this up on the internet if you want. But this is really an anti-aging supplement for old people who really suffer from fatigue. And since I'm a healthy older person, I guess, 52 years old, this has selenium in it. It has ginkgo in it. And bro, when I take this stuff, I better be on my way to the gym, because I'll be jumping out of my skin if I don't. The second thing that I use here is really just a combination of B12, ginseng, and royal jelly with selenium, more selenium, and a little bit of chaga mushroom. It's just unbelievable. It just, boom, puts you right where you need to be. So if you combine all these things first thing in the morning before you do your cardio, because I always recommend doing fasted cardio in the morning when your insulin levels are low, but you're still dragging ass. Now, there's other things too. You might think about buying those packets of vitamins. Be careful with those, because some of the vitamins in there you need to take with food. The rest, it doesn't matter. And if you don't take them with food, you will feel nauseous in about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and you'll vomit from the packets of vitamins that you buy. So don't necessarily need to buy the packets of vitamins. but buy individual vitamins so that you can stay on top. Now, here's my recommendations. And this is for any athlete or any guys that are trying to be athletes or just trying to keep your heart health under control, your liver enzymes low, things like that, especially if you're drinking tons of protein and stuff like that. So this is what I got from Sam's Club here in Mexico. It's an omega-3 supplement. And you want to look on there at the RNA, and I'm dumb right now because I'm recuperating. But you want to look at the RNA values in it, and you want to make sure that no matter how big the pills are, you might not be getting the daily dose that you really need. I checked this out using ChatGPT, and it told me that for optimal anti-aging doses, you need to take 12 of these a day. Now, let me show you how big these are just so you can see that these are monster capsules. All right, they're huge. We're talking this big. And you're supposed to take 12 of these a day to hit that threshold of really effective doses. Well, yes and no. Okay, I have other omega-3s that work way better. They don't come in these huge capsules in the RNA and then NDA or whatever the fuck it is. Both of those two combined is your dose that you want to take, especially for your heart, keep your blood pressure low, and all of the functions you need for your brain, because that's where this comes from. And the other thing is you want to get some good magnesium glycinate. Okay, this is a very basic brand that's sold here in Mexico at the health food store that sells all the supplements. Now, glycinate I take before bed because it will knock your dick in the dirt and make you drowsy. The other thing that I take too is a good probiotic. Now, at first, when you start taking probiotics, you are going to clean your body out. You're going to get the farts, especially if you have like indigestions or stomach problems. Once you start taking probiotics, you're going to be good to go. Now, I don't recommend get the chewable ones that are so delicious that they sell in the big bottles at Sam's Club or Costco because they're full of sugar. You want to check the labels of everything. Start paying attention to the labels of everything you buy to make sure you're not, reversing your gains, really. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is that what has helped me a lot, and this has been very helpful, and again, this is that other brand I was telling you about, is Yohimbe. Now, Yohimbe comes in really small doses. This gets 2.5 milligrams. When you go to the gym fasted, you want to take at least 5 milligrams before you go to the gym. You will burn fat like a Tijuana crack whore. You'll lose weight fast, especially where you need to. Now, for us anti-aging guys, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing this week. Not in this town, but in the next town over. We get these IV bags done once a month. Now, NAD plus, this is the pills. What I take is the precursor to NAD in mega doses in these bags. It takes like 2 hours because they put it in really slow. And it basically helps all of your organs regenerate. It helps your mitochondria restore its power. And if you have forgotten, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell that converts food and B12 into energy. It produces ATP, which is where you get that powerful, you get your power from. And if your mitochondria cells are damaged or oxidized over time, you need to change your diet. You need to get rid of all the things that are causing you to, because I don't want to be slow. I don't want to feel groggy in the morning. I don't want to feel tired. I want to get up and go. That's what I want to do, and that's how I want to feel every day. So NAD has been a powerhouse changer for me, but so is methylene blue. Now you're probably thinking, I've heard of methylene blue. You probably have because they use it in fish tanks. It's like a water purifier thing, but it's also been used as an industrial dye in the past. But it's been around for over 100 years. Turns out it's a great nootropic drug. In combination, and it depends, NAD and methylene blue in the same IV bag. And you're going to take that and they put it in your arm, and that's what you take. Methylene blue can also be taken administered with drops or DMSO patches, or pills. Either way, it's very expensive. And since I go to this clinic that actually does it, that's been a game changer for me. Now, as far as like the foods are super simple. Problem is it's very boring. And a lot of times you're going to be ravishingly hungry most of the time. So you're going to have to get to the point where your body starts, you know, the ketones are starting to come out. Once you get into ketosis, you're not going to feel hungry at all and you're going to feel energized. That's why I say when you get your coffee, put a little bit of butter in it. You're not eating any carbs, so don't worry about it. You're not eating any sugar, so don't worry about it. But it's going to blast you off. And that's what you want first thing in the morning, especially if you're a hard time getting out of bed, if you have a hard time getting motivated. You got to get in and you got to get out. Set your clothes out the night before. Set your shoes out the night before. Say your prayers and take your vitamins the night before. In the morning, take your morning supplements. If you can, set an alarm for like 4:30 a.m. Set an alarm. Say hi to me if you see me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, because I'll be awake. Because what I'm doing is I'm getting ready for the day. Most of you guys don't get up that early, which is why you don't have shopping bags under your eyes like I do. But I'm getting ready for the day. And I get ready early because I have all these anti-aging vitamins to take before I hit the gym. And that's important to me because my body is changing. My face is changing. I'm getting all this beautiful face that used to be all beautiful. All these wrinkles are starting to disappear. Thank you, Jesus. And I don't feel as upset and as nervous anymore, because I'm not dying anymore. So I'm taking care of my health. Another thing is that one thing that we overlook a lot, and it seems simple to you and I, is vitamin C. You need to blast vitamin C. These are chewables. These don't have sugar in them, but they're not made of monk fruit, which means it's a stevia derivative. But you need to take tons of vitamin C. It's going to help you convert glythol anyway to glutathione. So glycine. Sorry, I take glycine before I go to bed at night with creatine. And I take big doses of creatine. I'm talking 20 grams, 25 grams, because it does help you sleep. Even if you're an insomniac like I am, it negates the sleep loss. It actually helps you. You know how sometimes you really need to rest. You need to stay on point with your diet. You need to stay on top of your training. But if you don't rest, you can't grow. So when you take creatine, it negates that one aspect of it amazingly. And that is proven. It's also good for old ladies. Now, as far as liver health, and especially if you did a parasite cleanse, you're getting rid of parasites in your body, you're going to use a binder. The binder is going to basically get rid of a lot of anti-parasites. They only sell like a couple in the States that are over the counter. The kind that you want to get is a mass spectrum type, which is like menbendazole. Fenbendazole is the veterinary stuff that saved my life. And then ivermectin. And it's, like I said, it's easy to get. You go in, well, here's different because you just go to the pharmacy and say, I want this and I want that. And you just go walk out the door with it. But if you need a consult, you just need to get one doctor's consult. Once you've got that doctor's consult, you get a ivermectin or a menbendazole prescription for parasites. Just go and see a doctor. Say, I need these two medications. They're going to probably tell you, oh, we need a stool sample. No, you don't need a stool sample to get anti-parasites because it's a maintenance dose. People take it twice a year. Well, I'm taking it once a month because I'm making sure that shit ain't never coming back. And I take it in cycles. I get 2 boxes of fenbendazole and I get 2 boxes of ivermectin. I take one in the morning. I take one at night every single day. It does wipe you out. So these, other vitamins that help you with lethargy, it really helps out. Plus lots of espresso too. Now, guys, there's a lot of things that you needed to take notes on here because basically If you allow me to, we would talk for whole hours about nutrition, what to do, what to avoid, but the basics are simple. When you go to the gym in the morning, fasted, you haven't eaten all night long. Don't cheat. You don't need to. Even if you're not gonna, if you're doing that, if you're doing like intermittent fasting, which is really the most effective way, in my opinion, to go without suffering, but you're gonna go whole like 18 hours without food. We're talking about eating at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're gonna want to take yohimbe in the morning, along with whatever, pre-workouts or whatever you take in the morning. I don't take pre-workouts in the morning because this stuff makes me just amped up enough. It'll also help you if you are post-show and you have fatigue. Like if you've ever seen me in my videos and I'm half retarded and it sounds like I'm wasted, I'm not wasted. I am depleted of carbs. And I get to the point where I get so bad I need somebody to talk for me. I can't even speak Spanish. Nobody speaks English here, so I would have to have somebody speak for me like, I'm that messed up. Another thing is insomnia. Okay, if you really want to get rid of insomnia, you really need to take high doses of your magnesium. Your magnesium is the cure. Everybody is deficient in magnesium. So another reason why it's good to take binders along with your antiparasites is because if you have insomnia, parasites eat at night. And in my case, I had them in my teeth, I had them in my lungs, I had them in my brain, I had them in my intestines, I had them in my stomach, and a number of places. So there's like 30 plus of them that I had that were sucking the life out of me. And you need to take a binder. So what are binders? Okay, this right here is called NAC, NAC for short. And NAC is what they use in the hospital for Tylenol poisoning. Like all those dummies that were taking Tylenol and going to the hospital. The other thing is called TUDCA. TUDCA is bile, liver bile. And that's more of a protective supplement. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you, this NAC stinks, really stinks. And if you got liver bile in excess, it's going to stink too. When you get up in the morning, God's going to give you back things you never stole. And you're going to go to the bathroom and all the toxins, maybe fatty liver that you might have or fat that's on your organs is going to come out of you. And it's going to stink just like this stuff. So you know it's working. If it doesn't work, I'll be surprised if it doesn't because it works in the hospital. It'll work. This supplement. It's just a supplement. It's all it is. Now, another basic bonus I'm going to help you with too is getting yourself some castor oil. Now, I think of castor oil, that's the stuff grandma used to take before bed. The kids hated it and it tasted like crap. Well, castor oil has other benefits that'll help you a lot. And you may want to put some of this on your eyes, on your face, put some on that fat stomach of yours that just needs some help. You can put it on your liver, which if you don't know what liver is, it's on your right-hand side right here. It's in the shape of a triangle right here. So when I kick you, when we're sparring, that's where I'm going to hit you. Liver shot. Take a little bit of this, take a handful, put it on here like this. Some of you guys are trying to reduce the size of your stomach, just got a little bit more. You want to get just a little bit more off the stomach. You want to put some of this in your belly button before you go to bed. Huge deal, big game changer. And you don't need a lot. This stuff is not greasy. Put it on. It's oily at first, but then you don't feel anything. Good stuff. It also may grow your hair back. But I would probably get a needle roller and roll it and put it on your hair. Some other people tell me to put turmeric, mix it with black pepper and castor oil. Put it in your hair like this. Rub it in to your scalp and do a needle roller on your head. Then take and put, I don't know what they call it in English, but it's called a Zipfelmütze in German. And you put a shower cap thing on your head when you're sleeping, and that'll make you help you grow your hair back. Or if you're like me and you're getting a hair transplant where they transfer the hair from back here up to these parts right here so you have a nice straight line, sometimes castor oil may be that saving grace you need to save the hair that you have, or to even help a lot of the hydration on the top of your head. Some of you guys have worked out with you. I'm sitting there and we're doing shoulders, whatever. I'm looking down this dude's scalp, and you can see like dandruff and the dryness in his balding ass head. And I'm like, dude, put some castor oil in your hair before you go to bed at night. Put castor oil, put a little turmeric and black pepper in like a slurry. Put it in your hair. Use a needle roller, and then use that stupid shower cap thing. And I'm pretty sure that most of you guys know what a shower cap is, right? A bonnet. Put a bonnet on your head. And that way you don't get your pillows all greasy and shit. Not that it's greasy. That's what I'm saying, is that turmeric and black pepper is orange. So it'll probably stain up your shit. So get some of that stuff. And it's the easiest route to keeping your scalp good and healthy, free of DHT, and that'll keep your hair follicles from falling out. If nothing, it'll prevent new ones from falling out. Now, it's not going to grow anything back. If you have no hair up there at all and all your roots are out, they're out. They're not going to grow back. The only way is get a hair transplant. And that is not using pharmaceuticals or anything else. So if that works for you, because it has worked for me, trust me, when I did it the first time, I was like blown away that I had this huge bald spot on my back of my head. I looked like a Gregorian monk. And then all of a sudden, boom, I have hair again. People were, dude, did you get a hair transplant? I was like, no, because I had hair for the first time in who knows how many years. So now I'm not real worried about it. All I'm doing now is preparing the skin on the top of my scalp with this castor oil stuff. It helps a lot. Now, I got off track here. I know we were talking about bodybuilding food to keep you shredded and stuff like that. But there's a combination of reasons why you need to have a better self-image, because people treat you differently. It doesn't matter if you're jacked like this and you look great and you're recompensating and people are like, wow, look at you. Who gives a shit if you have a bald ass head? If your hair is thinning and people look at that, they look at your hair, they look at your teeth, get your teeth fixed. You know, brush your teeth every day. Start doing coconut oil pulling. Look that up. That's where you put coconut oil in your mouth in the morning, swish it around and spit it out. They're saying that it's a game changer, keep gingivitis away, and it really helps a lot. So I'm falling away fast, even though I'm having this espresso. I'm the professor. I hope you learned some of this, and his dogs didn't bark too much. And that's it. Bye.